Hello guys, welcome into Tribal Awakening Ministry. This is Brandy with Spirit coming to you guys live with a message from the Divine Feminine Presents the Naked Truth. Okay? So, guys, we have a lot of mirroring going on. The Death card popped out in the overall energy for the Divine Feminine here in the heart space. So she is also going through an ego death as well. So this is where like the mirroring starts between Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine energies. This is how we mirror each other, guys. So in the overall energy, we have this beautiful deck by Made for Love, Divine Counterparts and Separation. I have chosen to use this deck for the Naked Truth videos because in all actuality, whether we are with our Divine Masculines or whether we are not, we are still separate entities, okay? We are still separate entities. We still are Divine Feminines. They are still Divine Masculines, and our energy, it integrates, but there is a difference, okay? So this is why I've chosen to use this deck and to start off our reads with this deck. So I'm going to start with the overall energy of abundance we have here with the Divine Feminine, okay? It's funny because this is another mirroring card. The Divine Feminine is having to face her own inner demons in order to come into her abundance, where the Divine Masculine is having to face his own inner demons to overcome himself. The Divine Feminine is removing abundance blockages. So there's a lot of drastic changes happening in the Divine Feminine's life right now. A lot of energy releases, I feel. A lot of releases from a lot of energy that the Divine Feminine was needing to get out of her own personal space. So she's been clearing out lots and lots of energies from her personal space. The Divine Masculine is also mirroring her. Okay, but they're feeling the rocky storms, okay? It's like the shit storm is happening. But what they don't know is that everything is guiding them toward their purpose in life. So the Divine Feminine's fighting unnecessary. She's like trying to put her unnecessary fears to rest. She's trying to put her fears to rest here in her heart space because she knows that she needs to be free enough to move forward. Okay, like in her headspace, though, she has the Jack-o'-lantern, which is protection. And it's also about the owl card is wise seeing, wise action. Like she's really, really coming into her wisdom right now. She's really, really like the Divine Masculine. I was channeling in his videos how he was in that role, that very protective role, even if his hands had to get bloody. And with him, this is more about physical things, but with the spirit of the Divine Feminine, she's really, really in her wisdom phase. I feel like this is the goddess Athena here, coming into play as a messenger for the Divine Feminines tonight in this reading, where she's trying to implement wisdom and wise action into the Divine Feminine's purpose so that she can overthrow this energy of fear here within her heart space. Because this is about her releasing codependencies and coming into her own abundance within the self and within her life right now. So in her overall energy, she's experiencing more joy. She's starting to go through that illumination of joy, what brings the Divine Feminine joy. Wow, it's crazy. They're really, really mirroring each other right now. Under that you have hidden talents. She's starting to find joy in her own hidden talents, stepping into her own light of illumination that she's getting from spirit. And in the overall energy, she's also feeling that mirrored energy of regret from the Divine Masculine. And she's feeling that he's exploring this wild energy, but she's also feeling it. She's exploring this wild energy. It's taking place between the two of them. This is what I feel like is that Kundalini energy. It can like make you feel very primal, you know, changing werewolves, changelings. It's also a play on words when it comes to change. this is how the divine feminine feels about the change taking place. She knows, like, it's where all things pause and begin again. This is where that underworld card, where it coincides with the death and also the story of Hades. Now we're coming upon springtime, so that you feel like, if you feel god and goddess energy in the air right now, you would definitely feel the story of Hades and Persephone right now, and the energy of Demeter, of springtime. You have that underworld card there, where it's talking about that energy there. You're going through that experience. This is also about knowledge. You have the pomegranate there, which is a symbol of knowledge. This is apparently the fruit of knowledge right here, the pomegranate. So where everything pauses and begins again. This is like that feeling of coming out of winter, but that there are fruitful things about to take place among the death, among the release, among the letting go, but allowing that primal nature energy to take place. But also, as the divine feminine is awakening, she's beginning to understand the feelings of regret are coming from a wild place that she needs to soothe within herself. And so this is where she's feeling that energy of taking a pause. She's been through that dark night of the soul, and she's really so ready to come out of it. It's like the divine feminine's feeling like the werewolf right now. She's changing under the full moon cycles, and it's putting an end to this feeling of regret that she carries as well, because it's not just the divine masculine that carries this energy. The divine feminine is also mirroring him here, where she regrets certain things too. Like, in this dynamic, you don't hear very many people talk on social media, or you don't hear very many talk about where the female expresses her own regret in situations. A lot of people just channel that energy where the divine feminine is pining for her divine masculine, and she's waiting for him to come home, and so she's spending all this time waiting. But it's not really necessarily about that from the divine feminine's perspective. In all reality, she feels some regrets as well, but every human being has that point of contemplation where they go into integration with themselves, and they start to feel like where they made their primal mistakes, but they also feel where they come into balance with their primal selves in order to find some sense of acceptance within. So this is where females differ than men do. Like, females don't wear their regret on their sleeves, where masculines do. We know this is why the masculines run when they feel that energy of regret or shame, or a purging. So where the mirroring aspects of things are taking place right now is actually wicked, kind of crazy, and synchronicities. So in the overall energy, like that's just overall energy. We haven't even gotten started. So, all right, let's get to flipping. Let's find out what's going on in the overall energy, in the heart space, the mind space, physical space, and the spiritual space. She's shining through all of this, and it's like she's getting this protection from divinity right now. This is like the divine feminine feeling the protection of divinity. She's using the protection and the wisdom of the divinity to help herself break free of the codependencies, because she knows that these codependencies are a blockage for her when it comes to feeling abundant from within. And she's saying yes to the constant transformation that is taking place. She's still not in an energy of denying spirit its need for us to change. It's not about really changing ourselves. It's about changing what we can to become better versions of ourselves. She's in this energy as well as following her own heart. She's definitely feeling protective enough to follow her own heart space. She's trusting and guiding in spirit and the covenant that she has between herself and spirit as well. Divine feminine is also probably thinking about marriage as well. Maybe the unnecessary failures. Maybe the unnecessary fears that she has around commitment as well. This is something that's being healed within the divine feminine collective in her heart space. She has a fear of commitment, but she knows that she needs to follow her own heart in order to manifest her desires. So she's definitely going through a rebirthing process. The eternal cycles of beginnings are here. The eternal cycle begins here. She knows this. The eternal cycle of love begins within herself. So, in other words, even if it comes to love and light or love and relationships, you know, the divine feminine knows that there's certain parts of herself that she needs to find that inner fulfillment with, so that she's not afraid anymore of commitment. Maybe those things, those projects that the divine feminine used to start but could never finish, you know, this is also about the cycle of completion within her own inner projects, her own inner promises. The divine feminine is she's wanting to fulfill her promises. She's wanting to follow her heart, to fulfill the promises that she has made, not only to herself, but to her family and to the people that love her. She knows that following her heart in order to heal this contract that she has with herself and spirit to be here on this mission. I really feel like true divine feminines really are thinking about that right now. And they're eliminating unnecessary fears when it comes to their personal contracts, whether it be with soulmate counterparts or, you know, family relationships or friend relationships or relationship within the self. You know, this is something that the divine feminine, she's really wanting to be a woman of her word. But there are certain fears that she has revolving around commitment and finishing projects that she's truly trying to overcome right now to step into her true divinity. You know, that's the hope of every feminine in the collective. You know, we want to step into our divinity. But she's definitely shining right now. There's a sense of joy in the air. She's really, really enjoying this new energy that is coming in. She's feeling the momentum, you know, it's gaining, and she can definitely intuitively feel that. So, like I said, you know, the sacredness of pausing is about her understanding this transformation and how it's taking place within her and externally as well. And this is also her coming out of the this is that rejuvenation button that she gets to hit right after coming out of the dark night of the soul, you know, right after coming out of wintertime. So this is the thing that this is what she's contemplating. We also have the spider. She's ready to get back into community. She's ready to you see that? That's the Fibonacci sequence. That's funny. The infinite sequence of knowledge and connection and interconnectedness between one energy and another. The why the spider. I think of every time I see this card, I think of Charlotte's Web and how she helps him win competitions by having more confidence in himself, and he would win those prizes and win the rewards in the hopes that they wouldn't butcher him at the end of the story. So he's trusting in that. She's trusting in that inner wisdom. It's kind of like her own inner fairy spider godmother, trying to guide the divine feminine back into the world to communicate and get back into web weaving, you know, weaving that web of, you know, that interconnectedness between people and herself and others. I love that card. It's so beautiful. Oh, wow. And then we have for what she's going through and how she's integrating the heart and the mind right now is midnight, which is about the most magical hour of all. And then right there next to that, you have scrying, which is she's scrying for intuition. She's I'm going to read this card. I've never pulled this before. It's funny. So with the energy of finding out that the most powerful time that she can manifest is at night. And for most divine feminines, this is true. The night for the divine feminines, especially nearing full moon, is the most powerful time to manifest. But let's see. We have. So with the werewolf card that I triggered earlier, it was the luminosity triggers its triggers it. A wild moon rises, painted blood and fangs, fur and howling wolf in guises. So it's after a painful, excruciating, bone-jarring struggle against change, the man releases to the magic. Howling unrestrained under the full moon, now half man, half wolf, rises up, snarling, and goes up looking for blood. Yes, we all know the power of the werewolf. Okay, so it's funny that this card would come up in the divine feminine energy. A lot of divine feminines were crucified during the witch trials on March 1st. I had an extreme witch trial clearing. One of my past lives, I was one of the first people to be executed in Salem, Massachusetts in 1692. And I had a major karma clearing with the person that actually in a past life I've come into knowing him in this lifetime as well. We've been reincarnated into this lifetime together, and this person was responsible for my death in 1692. And I realized that he was a severe energy blocker. And I probably should have said my goodbyes months and months and months ago, but I just so happened to do this energy clearing on March 1st, which is the memorial of the first executions in March of 1692. And so this really hit like a Mack truck for me specifically. So I know that feeling when it says, like, and I don't know what made me read this card first. I already shuffled it back into the deck, but that's crazy. An intense interest in the werewolf developed in folklore tales too, and evolved to become the stuff of horror stories. And this was after the witch trials. So fairly consistently since then, the Wolfman or Lycan has featured regularly in tales, both oral and written, of course. So maybe this was that inner transformation of the divine feminine to actually, you know, how we really, really felt when we were going through areas of slavery and persecution. And I mean, I don't give a shit what color your skin is. Like, we've all experienced slavery and persecution to a really hellacious degree. And I don't think that, you know, for most scholars, you know, like, they can't really dispute that. You know, I get the cry of, you know, like, you know, different hurts because of racism, but this is a quite different. This is something quite different than racism. This is like right down to the core of your very humanity suffering, you know, right down to the core of your humanity, period. It doesn't matter what color, what race, or what religion you are. This is what we've suffered as a collective. You know, it is coming out in this reading, and it's being healed as well. This is why the divine feminine is fighting that devil energy. It's that devil energy that's in the divine feminine everywhere, that has had to face persecution or have had to face death in certain fear of, you know, of what, you know, the collective would think, you know. And this is what we're healing, and this is what we're having to follow our hearts to do right now, guys. So this is a lot of energy being cleared up right now in a karmic, in these drastic changes that are taking place within the collective energy. This is very, very drastic. So this is about the vitality and strength and the freedom of the animal versus the reason, control, and the intellect of the man. Which one, though, is the dominant force? What is the healthy balance between our animal nature and one that is wild and free and connected to nature, and our radically civilized humanness, separate or dominant over nature? The werewolf asks us to consider this balance and dive into our own ideas of wildness, independence, and custodianship of the planet. When's the last time you spent all day outside? When's the last time you threw your head back and howled at the moon? Do you squash the vitality and curiosity of your body and mind by sitting all day in front of a computer? The werewolf challenges you to weave in a balance between nature and your own nature. And so this is something that the divine feminine is very, very, very closely going into within her thought process here. I was really meditating on a flame this morning, and I had last night taken a lavender pillar candle, and I had carved runes, protection, protection over the physical body, protection over the psyche, calmness, tranquility, intuition, clarity. So it's the color of the third eye chakra. And I had carved in names of all of my friends and loved ones and relatives that I could think of that needed calming energy, or and they needed that clarity and intuition right now in this energy, so that they could have the wisdom and the protection of the divine at the moment, because there are a lot of energies going through the air right now. And so this morning when I woke up, the candle was still burning, and I was fire gazing, which is something that I do quite often. I actually saw my guides. I saw different messages in the flames this morning, and my spirit guides actually came forward, and I could see their shapes in the flame. One of them was the first one that I saw was the wolf, which is a guide that my divine masculine and I share. And then I know that this is because he just started coming around a few years ago. My very first spirit guide was a hawk. She's been around me since she was the very first one that revealed herself to me. And so I saw Oshi's face. I named my wolf Aquila. So I don't know. I named my animal spirit guides. I don't know if you guys do the same or not, but I do. So my animal spirits have names. And I saw the owl spirits, I saw the eagle spirits, and I saw the hawk spirit. I saw the raven spirit. So there were 4 bird spirits that I saw in the flames this morning, along with the wolf spirit. And I also saw a bear spirit that I reminded me of my mother, Mama Bear. That's the first thing I thought was Mama Bear. Mama Bear and her cubs. And how protective she is over her children. This is something else that I'm also channeling from the Divine Feminine as well. They're very, very protective over their children right now, their families, their friends, their soulmate connections. So there's a lot of things going on in the air right now, but there's a lot of wisdom coming through in the downloads that the Divine Feminine is actually getting. She's understanding that her intuition is wide awake at the moment. We have midnight here. The dark it envelops me, the witching hour waits, true magic and enchantment and spells that change fates. The middle of the night is the midnight hour in which it is believed that ghosts, witches, ghouls, and magic are most likely to be active. Transition times such as noon and the time between tides, or even the dark moon, are traditionally powerful times for magical transformation. So the Divine Feminine, I'm just going to interrupt right there and say the Divine Feminine has been having dreams, intuitive dreams at nighttime. There are a lot of things that the Divine Feminine is being intuitively downloaded with at night. The owl is also another night animal. He comes out at night to hunt. This is where the owl is the most active because they hunt at night. So do hawks. So when I'm seeing predatory birds of prey, an eagle will hunt in the daytime or the nighttime. They really don't care. Eagles are more daytime birds. They're not as nocturnal as the hawk or as the owl. So there you have the mirrored aspect, and I feel like the eagle is also a more masculine energy as well. But not sure whenever ever I see them, I know that I don't know. There's something up with the nocturnal thing. Like a lot of the Divine Feminine's downloads are coming at night. The Divine Masculine's downloads may be coming in the daytime. And that may have been what the message was from the eagle spirit that I saw in the flames this morning, because I was getting a mixture of Divine Masculine and Feminine energies. I also was seeing the Ascended Master, Jesus Christ, in the flame. And I also saw the archangels Michael and the archangels Gabriel as well. So I noticed that when they were spreading their wings, I was getting a message from the ascended masters, the ascended master, and the angels, that it was time for the divine feminine to go within and to truly pay attention to her guides right now, because she really, really needs to be able to see through the clarity of the darkness, because there's a lot that the divine feminine doesn't want to understand, but there's something that she needs to understand within the darkness right now. And this is probably right now most likely about her own intuition, about her coming into her community and weaving that web of connection that she so desperately needs right now in order to fulfill her covenant, in order to fulfill her mission here on earth. She really needs to come into this community. She's really coming into her own community. She's probably doing all kinds of things to be more involved within her own community as well. And that's always a good thing. So the divine feminine, it seems that the divine feminine is really on her way to really kicking this fear in the ass. But there's something right here within the midnight hour in the scrying, that she needs to understand to integrate the two, the heart and her mind, so that she can come into balance with what it is that she needs to do to take action right now. So in some traditions, the witching hour is seen as 3 a.m., but it's possible that the time Jesus is said to have died is 3 p.m., but there's some consensus that midnight is the time of greatest magic, particularly, in the night hours. But as soon as the clock strikes midnight, it is said that the spirits flow forward through the veil and, if benevolent, bring positive messages. If not so benevolently, they're mischievous and play tricks at best or worst to cause havoc. So allow yourself to relax into the benevolent darkness. Benevolent darkness. Dang it, Mercury. Okay, I'll be so glad when this transition's over, guys. I'll be ready to speak right again. So anyways, allow yourself to relax into the benevolent darkness and or of midnight. You may feel this is your darkest hour, but know that the light will return again. The dawn always follows the darkest night. So know too that it is important to recognize that we all have darkness within us, just as we have light. And this isn't something that we can hide from. So this is a lesson that the divine feminine has experienced very well with the dark night of the soul. She already has this intuition. She already has this knowledge. But it's like she doesn't need to forget right now that this is what protects her. This knowledge is what protects her in the night, in the things that you cannot see in the dark. The things that you can't see but you can feel. So that's pretty smart. Divine feminine. So the silent winged and wise, all-seeing creature of the night, show me the way, I will follow you in flight. Owls have for thousands of years been part of folklore and been considered special or sacred. With their huge forward-facing eyes and otherworldly appearance, they've been seen both as wise and harbingers of the supernatural. So this also explains why a lot of people are seeing a lot of supernatural. This could be a lot of supernatural entities. Like we've scryed on 4 different things. You've got, the midnight hour, which is the witching hour, and then you have witches, the mention of witches and werewolves, and now you have the mention of the messenger owls being the messengers, ravens being the messengers of death and supernatural events. So a lot of things like over the cross of veil are really, really thin right now. I really feel like there's a very thin layer between us and the veil at the moment. The divine feminines are extremely sensitive to this right now. But there are many hundreds of species of owls, and almost all are nocturnal and carnivorous. But they've all specially designed feathers that enable them to fly silently, giving them an incredible hunting advantage, sort of like having stealth mode. Many deities were said to be able to change into owls, and perhaps the most favorite was Athena, who was famous for her strategy and intelligence. To this very day, the capital city of Greece is Athens. Athena's owl is as its symbol. Her name, the owl, was Nisichthymene. Should the hooting owl come looking for you, it indicates the need for wise counsel or further information before you make decisions. Considered action is warranted. Think before you act emotionally, and ensure that you think strategically and not impulsively. So right now the divine feminine is being warned not to go in on an impulsive adventure. It's not the time to be impulsive right now, and I definitely don't feel that way. The songs that were channeled for the divine feminine were 3 different songs. One was Wild Angels by Martina Bride. The other was A Woman's Worth by Alicia Keys. And the last song that I channeled was by Hailstorm, and it's called Rock Show. The lyrics from Rock Show are about the divine feminine wanting to be in the front row. She's wanting to be front row and center right now. And she feels like this is where she's going to be most abundant, but it's like Spirit is holding her back and saying, no, this is not where I want you. I don't want you front row and center. I want you to be paying attention to what is happening all around you in everything right now. So being front row and center, you're going to take your mind, that's going to take you away from what you really need to be doing right now. And so Spirit was like, no, divine feminine, rein yourself in just a little bit. Rein yourself in. But in some sense, the divine feminine does need to feel like she is in the front row already. Like she's front row and center. It's not really a bad thing. Again, I really feel like there's some spiritual cleansing still happening. I mean, aside from the fact that it is almost midnight now in my time at the moment while I'm channeling this video. But yawning, every time I start yawning, I already know that like that's spiritual. Like the messengers are here with me. So it says for the scrying card, it says, soften your eyes, begin the trance, whole worlds are open, begin the dance. So scrying is also divination. I use a pendulum most of the time to scry energies or to scry information. If I wanted to find something that is lost, all I need is a map, really. So you can really take that how it resonates, but I don't know why that had me pick that up and show you guys. But yeah, for scrying, this is a tool, guys, for scrying energies. It's another form of divination, and it actually gets pretty precise. I can't even explain how it works any more than I can really explain how I can channel messages through these cards, not only intuitively, but for the fact that I could be speaking on a topic and then go to shuffle the cards, which I still haven't even pulled the churro for these yet. But this is another tool of divination, guys. It's very, very effective and very accurate, I can assure you. But anyway, it's about seeing unconscious images or images from the divine or supernatural, or to peer upon or within a surface. People scry into a crystal ball. This is another form of scrying, and I have used crystal balls before, which I would love to have another one at some point. But the keys to effective scrying are being as relaxed as possible. Make sure that your feet, I know that when you're scrying, you need to make sure that your feet are not crossed, because if you do, you're blocking your own energy from what it is you're trying to connect to. Be relaxed. Minimize the distractions that you have around you as much as possible. You soften your gaze and you allow the energies to come in. So the enemy of effective scrying is distraction. So when you're trying to scry for information, it's like this is what the divine feminine right now is fighting within her. This is how she is trying to integrate her mind and her heart space right now. And she's really, really trying to go within to remove the distractions. This is why that double energy came up under abundance. So this is what she's trying to remove from her blockages right now. She's trying to remove the distractions, any and all distractions. She's removing them very quickly from her energy, because she knows that she needs to. Like, she intuitively knows it's got to happen. So anything that could break her focus, she's clearing that out. So inside and out, she's turning off phones, electric lights, music. If you're scrying outdoors, it's about taking time to settle into the environment around. And there was also this card about, it was asking the Divine Feminine, have you been out in nature yet? Have you been grounding yourself in nature? So I feel like this is another mirrored aspect between the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine energies right now. Both of them are getting messages that they need to go out in nature and ground themselves through this energy, because this death energy right here is some pretty heavy business. When I got those channeled messages the other morning, like yesterday morning when I woke up, the energy around me was so dark. Like, I had to call one of my love and light buddy friends to come literally get in my face and give me hugs, because like the shit was just so fucking deep. Not only the clearings that I did over the weekend, but I know that other feminines are going through this too right now, where they're clearing out so that they can honor their promises, they can honor their covenants, or honor their missions, and get back to the soul tribe and the scrying. And this is what we're supposed to be doing right now, because we're powerful. We're trying to shine in our own light, going through these transformations, as divine feminines, trying to step into the divine feminine role. That's a pretty hefty ordeal, to be able to have to shed those divine feminines. Trying to step into the divine feminine role, that's a pretty hefty ordeal, to be able to have to shed those things that we don't need to carry the lower level shit with us. So it's getting really, really important. So this is also another message for the divine feminine. She's like, her third eye point, the chakra point in the center of the forehead, is opening. But this is also about meditation and going in and allowing images to form when you're scrying for information. This is about the divine feminine needing to focus. Okay, she got this in her energy last week as well. She needed to focus. But now it's more focusing toward her intuition and knowing that her magical powers and her abilities to manifest are really strong and really potent, and that it takes wisdom to balance logic and imagination during these times. Like, to receive but not to think, or don't engage in the rational mind, but receive, not think too hard. So yeah, it's about turning her focus. She's needing really seriously to manifest herself the ability to turn her focus inward. So this is really important for the divine feminines right now, to turn her focus inward upon her magic, and the fact that she has the ability to create anything she desires. She has the ability to scry for information. She just needs to focus. Okay, so this is her challenge for the week. And the divine masculine's challenge was quite the opposite. It was about coming out of that fear of moving forward, actually speaking his truth, being able to come forward with that loving, compassionate energy. Okay, but the divine feminine, she's ready to go to the rock show, but Spirit's saying, hold on, buddy. Don't make those decisions way too fast. And we know that you need to get to your community, but make sure that you're doing it in a healthy fashion. And open your eyes and begin the trance. Okay, so let's get into some tarot. Let's find out what's going on. Let's find out really quick and in a hurry what is going on with the divine feminine. And since I love the Tarot de la Nuit so much, the Tarot at the House of Night for the divine feminine. First off, we have King of Cups and the Fool coming out in the energy right now. Okay, so what's going on with the abundance? What's going on with the abundance and the devil energy? So she's grounding herself with the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Two of Cups, making decisions, moving forward over obstacles, getting grounded. Getting grounded. Okay, I feel like that Ten of Swords is that release of the past. That Ten of Swords is the release of the past struggles of unions, relationships. She's healing relationships. She's also healing where she was codependent upon certain relationships and how that's no longer serving her anymore. This is coming up in her intellectual thoughts right now. This is the overall energy. Sorry. I really felt like I needed to. Oh gosh. Gosh. Okay. Oh wow. Anyway, I'm going to leave that right there. So she's really hanging in suspension right now. She's not hanging in suspension. She's getting over this Ten of Swords energy. Ten of Swords energy in this deck really is about, sorry, and these cards are just all over the place. The energy is really, really moving fast. Spirit cleaning up our messes, and we didn't want to clean them up ourselves. He's coming in clearing them up for us. Okay, so I don't know. That was just another thing that I saw in the flames this morning. It was really heavy. Reminds me of that Eight of Swords card that I have, or the Eight of Wands. I think it is the Eight of Wands card about messages. Message coming from Spirit both ways. Sorry, guys. Can we continue to drown in our waters of betrayal? No, it's no use. We have found it hard to let go of these obstacles. Absolutely. But feeling too desperate and shocked to fight, the Divine Feminine knows that something needs to die in order to purify her soul from this bad experience. This is what she's really going through. This is what's grounding her out in the physical with the Queen of Pentacles. If you're drifting, try to keep faith. So this is about seeing the light of a new dawn in the far distance, or a drowning night. The drowning night will also come to an end, but having survived it will only make us stronger. We won't forget the lessons we've learned through all this pain and suffering. They'll give meaning to this hard moment in our life. So it's about the drowning soul overcoming pain and betrayal, but also finding new beginnings and new strength and dawn after the darkness. So this is about Two of Cups. This is her about healing that past energy that she's had toward relationships and how they've always left her in the dust. I have got to make this place, or that's the place where I need it to stay. Sorry, I don't know. These cards are not wanting to cooperate. But yeah, it really honestly feels like with the way that I'm having to struggle to get these cards and the Divine Feminine read to stand up, it's like the Divine Feminine has really, really struggled hard with this release and this codependency of the Divine Masculine and wanting to have control over the situation. This is about that release that the Divine Feminine needs to release this. Yes. Oh, this is funny because I dropped about half of the deck of cards and the star comes out with the devil in reverse as I said that. So I have to leave this out where it comes to the death card and the unnecessary fear here. This eternal cycle beginning. This is where she's feeling hopeful about the new beginning of the cycle of the Divine Feminines. And this energy here is about the obstacles of overcoming the obstacles here. But facing that fear, having to face that fear of being trapped in the illusions forever. The Divine Feminine does not want to be trapped in the illusions of the Divine Masculine forever. She doesn't want to be trapped in the illusions of self. She doesn't want to be trapped in the illusions of spirit. She doesn't want to be trapped in the illusions of anything, period. The Divine Feminine is really, really fed up with the lessons of illusion and how she has to trust her intuition not to get stuck in the illusions anymore, because this is what has created her fear. this is the transformation that she is truly going through in her heart space right now, and how, when it comes to release. So, wow, that was really, really quick. That was crazy how that came out like that. Okay, so here, over here, she has temperance with patience, protection, wise seeing, and wise action. The divine feminine is also being told by spirit to be patient in her actions right now. It is not the time to move forward and make brash decisions or brash decisions. Yes, the divine feminine is being told to slow down and take care of herself right now. She's needing to go in. She's needing to move away from that energy that causes her stagnancy. This is the Six of Swords. Moving toward calmer waters. Wow. I just feel like I need to bring that Queen of Pentacles back out here so you can see her. Like, you just need to see it. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so what's going on with the transformation, shining, and the sacredness of pausing? What is happening in this energy of the sacredness of pausing, the shining star energy? This is what's going on in her headspace right now. Saying yes to the transformation. You have justice. That's crazy. Clarification to justice. This is what's happening within the sacredness of pausing. The Ace of Swords, you have the truth coming forward. She needs to stand strong in her authenticity. She needs to be authentic. She needs to remove the masks. She also needs to make an action. She needs to take a choice, an action toward a choice that she needs to make. And this is revolving about her heart space. What does she want to build? Following her heart. What is she following her heart toward? She's following her heart toward the things that she wants to build. You have also the world. She's completing cycles and beginning new ones. This is about the beginning of a new cycle. You also have the owl energy here as well. Another sign, the owl spirit is here with the divine feminine as well, helping her gain battle strategy. This world card is really, they're telling me to read. With justice, let's see, you have in any decision, fairness and equality are to be looked for. For truth and justice, only believe in truth and just justice. This is the divine feminine stance. She only wants the truth anymore, and she will only take actions toward the truth and within the truth. This is what she's gained as a part of her sacred pausing. This is what she's gained in her sacred acknowledgement of what needs to happen when she's stepping into her divinity. It's about wisdom, solitude, inner guidance, introspection, seeking answers, and the lonely path. Sometimes, awakening is a lonely path. Sometimes feeling the separation of your twin is a lonely path. She knows this. But it was funny because at the bottom of the deck, you have the Sun card. Just like the divine masculine through this journey, even though in separation or even in that feeling of separation or having that split between the two dynamics, this is another place where the divine masculine and divine feminine are mirroring each other because they're both feeling hopeful and they're both being illuminated right now with masculine energy. Okay, so the Six of Swords with Temperance, what is she moving away from? I'm kind of wanting to know, like, the Six of Swords. She's moving away from that bullshit. She's knowing her worth. She's moving away from her own self-conceived notions of shit, too. She's removing illusions that she has put upon herself. And that is the greatest lesson that she is learning right now. And having to integrate that right here within her intuition, her intuitive space. That is definitely happening here within the justice of her own transformation. This is having to do with her, not the divine masculine. And just like the masculine going through his own thought process, what he's doing is healing himself, and he doesn't even know it yet. He's moving toward his own wish fulfillment, honestly. She's moving toward her own self-integration as well. This is her needing to take action, though, with her truth. So it's funny because here you have these two cards that are mirroring each other. And it's about scrying. And here in this card, they refer to the skull. Oh my gosh. Okay. Where did they go? My whole deck of cards, I don't know how many times it's gonna throw itself in the floor, guys. Be patient with me. So with the two cards here, okay, scrying. It talks about scrying again. The skull is like my crystal ball. It provides me all the information I need and helps me reach my goals. So that was the illumination of the crystal skull, the light of the skull of light. So it's where the divine masculine and feminines were mirroring each other again. It's like my crystal ball. It provides me all the information that I need. The answer is that you have to develop a plan, a detailed, efficient, appropriate plan. Don't be spineless or timorous. Dare to explore and try new experiences. You've walked a long road already, but there's still work to do. Things must be considered with a long-term approach in mind. The audacity over timidity, however the hell you say that. The fear and don't fear stormy clouds. If you're well prepared, clouds won't stop you from expanding your horizon. So the divine feminine is going through a period of expansion as well as the divine masculine. Her expansion is just coming in a different form where she's also needing to take action, but I feel like it's more toward her pentacles coming more into union with herself. This isn't about money, I don't feel. This is the divine feminine really doesn't give a shit about material aspects of things. She doesn't know that she needs to she's on her way to manifesting as the Empress towards her 10 of Cups. Jesus. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna wow. These cards, like 50, 78 card pickup here. Wow. Wasn't expecting that. Multiple times over. Okay, so where was I? Sorry about that. I had to put everything back together. Okay, so scrying for information, Two of Wands, making plans, being critical, considering things. She's long term. Okay, what does she want for long term? She wants to shine through this transformation. She wants to shine after the transformation. She knows that there was sacred lessons learned in Dark Night of the Soul. She's ready to see what's happening with that. How is she integrating in the physical through the midnight hour with scrying through her own intuition, trusting her own intuition? Where's that? Okay. King of Swords. Ace of Wands. I knew that was going to come out again. Six of Cups, Five of Cups. Okay. She needs to release this pain. She needs to release this energy, this painful energy of holding on to the loss that she suffered, okay, of the past. Those nostalgic moments are blocking her focus, okay? So we need to release this with this Ace of Wands energy, the King of Swords energy. This is like cutting that out. It's like cutting that business out. Like, it's time to cut that business out, Divine says. So this is what divine is working on divine feminine with right at the moment. Oh my God, I'm so ready for Mercury retrograde to be over, guys. I am so fucking tired of stumbling on my words. Okay, so here in her heart space, she's mirroring the divine masculine, where he was in his headspace thinking about the Ten of Pentacles. In her heart space, she's thinking about the Ten of Pentacles. This is where her world is coming. This is where her world is beginning. Like, the divine masculine, I feel like, has already been through the Ten of Pentacles lessons and his thoughts. He's thinking about how to implement that now. Now the divine feminine is trying to figure out how to implement this into her situation now, like, personally, with the truth. And this is what is being healed within this action, within this time frame, within this timeline. The divine feminine is healing. She's surrendering control to the divine. She's opening up her heart. She's opening up her space for new beginnings. She's been preparing herself for quite some time to release a bunch of things, but right now divine is really urging her to release from the divine masculine energy. This is something that we've had to fight with divine feminine with for a while. Union or no union, a lot of you guys, whether you're in union or not in union, you still need to not focus on what the divine masculine is doing, because you have to know that if he's on your journey, if you're on the journey, he's going to be mirroring you in healing aspects. He's not going to necessarily run from you at every turn. Now, there are some gaslighting situations, some heartbreaking Seven of Swords, like Seven of Pentacles. I don't know, there's really some seven energy, Seven of Swords energy going on, where there's some self-deception going on here. Okay, she really needs to come. Divine feminine needs to release divine masculine. Okay, she needs to release the past of the distorted masculine. She needs to release the energy of the distorted masculine. She needs to really, really go down deep within her heart space and forgive him right now. She needs to release this past energy of betrayal. It's really like that last and final go round where Spirit is saying it's time to take action and clear it out. You know the truth, accept it, let it go. So she's really, really having to take action right now. Have like going on over here, we have the Three of Pentacles, the World card. So she's trying to build a new world for herself within this promise that she's made to herself and to Spirit. And to the people around her, where she's, trying to be consistent. Be that pillar, that beacon of light that people can use to follow their heart toward their destiny, because the divine feminine is meant to help other people come into their destiny as well. So as she comes into her own destiny, she is taking action toward those Three of Wands. Like, let's see, in this book, the Three of Wands is a little different. King of Swords. Powerful intellect, great authority, sharp mind, impartiality, using your head and not heart. So it's overcoming that head and heart space where you need to integrate the two. You need to work from both aspects and knowing when to discern between the two of them. Okay, so the King of Swords says, I have commanded, I have battled, I have ruled, I am your leader. You have to submit to my authority. This is what the divine feminine has to fight within herself. Submitting, the divine masculine is not just going to submit to anyone's authority. She has to understand this. This is where she thinks that he should move forward, but this is the idea that is breaking the divine feminine's heart. And this is what the divine feminine needs to release right now, or anybody trying to come into their divine sense of nature. You have to release this feeling in order to set yourself free, because this is what is keeping you stuck, guys. And like I said, there's that 5 of damn pentacles. This and these 3 cards pop out. The 5 of pentacles, the magician, and the lover's card. 5 of pentacles, magician, and the lover's card. You guys are trying to manifest love. You guys are trying to manifest divine union, but if you can't let go of this 5 of cups, this 5 of pentacles energy, you cannot manifest divine sacred union when you are blocking it from within yourself, guys. So this is what the divine feminine is having to overcome right now with this King of Swords energy. With the 6 of Cups, nostalgia, okay? Thinking about the past all the time. That's that 10 of damn swords. This, in this same energy, the divine masculine is also battling that same energy as well. There's that 10 of swords. It covered the divine masculine while he's in solitude and he needs a space. But the divine feminine is trying to ground herself right now in this space. There's a lot of healing going on between both parties to heal this 2 of Cups energy. It's the past. This divine masculine broke her heart so bad because he was so ego driven. But the collective is feeling this really, really heavy, so hard, right? Like so heavy right now, so hard and heavy. Queen of Swords comes with the 7 of Pentacles, the King of Wands. Okay, so the Queen of Swords, 7 of Pentacles. This is about her speaking her truth as well. The Black Swan energy. And when I see the King of Wands in this deck, it reminds me of Louis from Interview with the Vampire, where she's so complacent. She was so complacent in the past, and that's how she feels like she was heartbroken because of her complacency, because of her inability to be this darkness and the light and the light and the darkness. And I don't know, the Dark Swan is a very tragic story. She plunges herself off the edge of a cliff in the end because it was driving, the energy of the Black Swan was driving her mad. She was, her envy, her rage, you know, was driving her with madness. And it's like the masculine here is like Louis from Interview with the Vampire. He's so complacent, you know, he's still more human than vampire, no matter how much vampire he becomes. You know, she's still human in there. But she's understanding that the divine masculine is still human in there, and she's got to overcome her own dark nature and her own envied nature, her own envious nature, in order to allow him to have this process of healing, this spiritual healing. Divine feminines know the divine masculine is going through deep spiritual healing right now. She knows the divine masculine is purging because that tower moment really came, and it didn't just come for her, it came for her too. You know, so that's the truth of it. And it's a very ugly process. So she's no better or no worse off than the divine masculine. So, I mean, I don't know. That's just really heavy energy. Every time I see this 7 of Pentacles. I don't know. I feel like I need to read that message so I can end this. And then that's crazy because you have the 7 of Cups pop up and it's removing the bullshit illusions from her psyche. That's what the sun illumination is doing. It's grounding out that energy where it's removing the illusions. It's pulling the fucking blinders off from the divine feminine. Maybe the divine feminine's not so happy in this energy because, of course, you have the tower moments coming for the divine feminine as well. And it's about love. She's having this epiphany about love. You have the King of Swords, too. It's crazy shit. A lot of mirroring energy. Four of Wands. You have Four of Wands coming up in the Divine Feminine's energy as well. It's about union as well. The Four of Wands came out for the Divine Masculines. Whew, removing the illusions, guys. One episode at a time. This last week was really, really heavy for both energies in the collective. But this was about surrendering the burdens and healing. Of the King of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Pentacles, you've got twin flame energy all over these readings tonight, guys, multiple times over, confirmations over and over. Seven of Cups, strength. This is what the twins are having to find right now, strength. You also have that energy of Aries. This is how the Aries energy is affecting the Divine Feminines right now. This is how the Aries energy was affecting the Divine Masculines. It was coming out in their read as well, the Emperor. So it's very about self-introspection. A lot of self-introspection happening right now. So I am going to pull one final message from the Moonology cards for the Divine Feminines. I know that I ended the last reading. You know what? Fuck it. I might as well of sexual magic. And see where the Divine Feminine is at in her. What is her higher self saying from the realm of sensuality? Eight of Pentacles. I'm going to get 5 cards altogether. We're just going to get a final message from Divine Feminine. The Ace of Wands. The Hierophant came out as well. The Hanged Man. She's really contemplating her energies of trust right now. Can she really trust the Divine Masculine? When he does come forward to her, will she be able to trust him? This is what she's thinking about as from her divine sense. She's really ready to be passionate with him. She's really ready to accept his offer and to build a strong union with him, a loving, healthy union. But she's wondering in her contemplation right now if she can trust the Divine Masculine with her heart. This is her Ten of Cups. She loves him. It's like she's watching him, like he's walking away to go grab her something. But it's like he's gathering fruit for her. He's gathering fruit for her. And she's saying, here, come take a bite. It's so good. Come take a bite. But can I trust it? And oh my God, this is crazy shit. You have the Four of Wands. Can I trust this union? This is what her higher self, she's channeling this energy from her higher self, wondering if she can trust this union when it does come in for her. Queen of Swords, there he is. She's looking at his picture. It's like he's distant. They're long distance lovers. Wow. The fact that they're long distance, you have 2 9s, you have the 9 of Pentacles, and you have the 9 of Swords. That's fucking crazy. You have the 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Swords behind her. It's like this masculine is her wish fulfillment. She is his wish fulfillment. But there's like this energy of 9 of Swords. She's worried. She's worried if she can trust this. Wow. You have Queen of Swords and King of Swords underneath the deck. Wow. Holy wow. And then you have the Six of Wands and her sensual energy. That's about victory. She wants this to be victorious. She hopes that that new beginning coming her way, it's worth if she can trust it. So she's really, really, really having to trust in divine right now, that divine energy right now. She's really having to let go and let God at the moment. And that's exactly what she's doing. She's letting go and letting God, but she's still in her thoughts. She's wondering if she can trust the masculine. Will she be able to trust him when he does come in with an offer? So the Aries energy is moving forward. It's moving people forward in a way where they're coming out of hangman mode. And so they're moving forward with action. They're taking action. They're getting out of their heads to take action. And the divine feminine can feel this. She's ready. She's wondering, is she ready? Is he ready? Is he coming forward with authenticity? Is he going to be his authentic self? Can she trust him? The magician. Okay, guys. The magician pops up twice. I don't know. That's synchronicity to me. Very synchronized readings tonight, like even more so than I think the last 2 episodes. I'm feeling like this energy is seriously gaining momentum right now. They're like we're coming to a climax here. That's what it feels like. Divine feminine really picking up on that climax at the moment. There's a lot of kundalini energy in the air. She's been feeling that as well too. It's like he's marking his territory in spirit. This card right here. It's like he's taking it back a notch. So this is pretty much where she's at. She's not really, I don't know, I don't really feel the sexual energy radiating off of her very much, but her sensual self she's feeling goddess-like. But she's really, really wondering if this union, this offer that's fixing to come toward her, if she can trust it. But I think she'll get over that hurdle of fear. She will trust it. She's going to move out of that energy of non-trusting, non-believing, feeling trapped, feeling stuck, wondering if it's ever going to happen. Pretty soon, she's not going to have to wonder if it's ever going to happen because divine masculine is going to come forward. And this concludes tonight's episode of The Naked Truth, guys. This is pretty much where the divine feminine is standing. She's got a lot of energies of fear that she needs to purge. This energy right here of the 7 of Pentacles really worries me. And it always worries me because that's a tragic story. She needs to release the tragedy of the past in order to come into her future. This is her divine masculine. He's waiting. He's the King of Wands, man. King of Wands. That's big wig king. Like, he's the emperor, man. That dude, the main dude, the vigilante dude that's kicking ass like that dude in Desperado. I told you I was channeling that earlier. That was funny. Yeah. Kicking codependencies, feeling like trapped and bound lovers, like star-crossed lovers. I'm getting like that star-crossed lovers vibe tonight. 4 star seeds, twin flames. 4 twin flame star seeds going through hell, guys. But it's gonna be all right soon. Divine feminine, divine masculine's energy seems a little bit more positive tonight than the divine feminine's. Divine feminine seemed a little bit darker, which is surprising. That divine masculines are starting to have more faith, and the divine feminines are kind of dwindling a little bit right now. But that's okay because the energy fluxes all the time. And so with the clearings that have happened this last week, especially with all that scorpionic death energy going on in the air here, there's a lot of transformations, a lot of dark and light transformations coming in all at once. So that's kind of overwhelming, I can imagine, for both sides of the spectrum here. But the star card coming out of both sides, that energy dynamic of, you having the twin flame energies with the emperor, the empress. You have justice here on the board, helping the divine feminine move forward and take actions, helping the divine feminine clearing out these nostalgic, 5 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles energy. This is what she's healing for. She has got to let that energy of feeling betrayed, she's got to let that go. She's got to heal that. She's got to forgive that right now. So that's why the energy of forgiveness was popping up several weeks ago. You know, this is like that final clearing where something's happening within the world of emotions. You know, we have a lot of fire action going on here. That's a lot of action taking place within transformation, strength here for both of the divine feminine and divine masculine energies. So the divine feminine is doing a lot of grounding through patience. A lot of things are taking place right now. She's trying to build within a new world of abundance for herself. And I really feel like it's coming from the inside, starting from the inside, working itself to external. But anyway, this has been a message from brandinimojo at Tribal Awakening Ministry. And it's been a blessed, blessed Thursday, guys. Coming to you guys live, giving you guys the Naked Truth episodes. Have some angel numbers for you guys to check out tonight. If you've been seeing synchronicities of the number 3 repeatedly, I see the number 4 and the number 5s a lot. Okay, we have the 3 of Wands. We have 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. We have 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, you have also energies of 7, which is also a heavenly number. So the number 10, 11, also the endings and new beginnings, and also 11 signifying the twin flame awakening, the awakening ascension energies going on with the number 11s, guys. So for the divine feminines, it's about taking that energy of wanting to be first in line and wanting to be the first you know, wanting to be front row center at the greatest rock show ever. But this is really a message about finding your worth and, you know, knowing that angels are coming down from the heavens to protect us right now. This is that energy of giving us worth through the death process, helping us fight that devil energy, and finding temperance here within the 6 of Swords so that we can move into calmer waters, downloading us with information, knowledge, and battle strategy on how to win these battles within the self, and going through these transformations right now of healing and coming into union with the self and possibly our divine counterparts. So I want to wish you guys love and light. This has been another episode of The Naked Truth, Divine Feminine Presents. I want to wish you guys love and light on your journeys. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. And if you guys want to book personal readings or services with me, all of the services are down in the description box. You can contact me at pearlofthesea13@gmail.com, or you can find me on IG or Facebook. So if you guys would like to book a reading with me or stay tuned, hit the notification bell in order to get notified whenever I do readings in the near future. And signing off now in transmission, guys. Love and light.